Are you ready to tackle day 21 of the Inktober Zentangle challenge? I know we are, right, Gayle?
I am.
All right, then let's get right to it. So the Tangle pattern for day 21 is called Butria by Ute Andresen. And I hope I am pronouncing that name correctly. And on my layout, I'm going to add that right down here. Very much like our bee fly pattern, Butria has that butterfly or little insect appearance to it. And I just thought it would be great to pair those up here in the same area of my layout. And we'll fill in other details kind of behind them and around them and just hope that all those things work out right. But this general area is where I'm going to place mine. Normally I've been trying to kind of showing you a quick version on the Post-it. I'm going to show you that here real fast as well. The essence of Butria is very simple. We start with a V shape in the formal step out, and then we approximately divide that in half, half top to bottom. We create our little dot here in the center, and then there's going to be a little seed shape, which kind of forms the body of the butterfly, if you want to think of it that way. And then we curve some lines down to that center. And then with these sections that we've created, we now can divide those in half again on each side. And once we have created that, we have the basic shape, which can then be embellished and shaded and inked in all different sort of ways. But I wanted to show you that you can also do things like this. You can put a curve to those outer lines. But the process, and you can even curve those inner lines if you wanted to create more of a different appearance to the wings. And you can round them instead of making them with a sharp point to them. And then wherever we drew, now in some cases you could also draw this outer line with a pencil, so that you can then just draw your wings in any way you'd like up against that line, so it becomes a guide for you that you don't actually have to draw and then ink in around. But so you get some variety here, you have some variety here, and of course then we add our little antennas at the end. So you can do this in a number of different ways to create overlap, to create roundness, or slightly different shapes to the essence of this Butria Tangle. So I just wanted to show you that. But now, having said that, let's draw this in. And I am going to use a pencil to start with just because I've got a couple placements I want to play with. So I'm turning this at an angle here, and I'm going to do a pretty good sized one to match or equal or be larger than this one I drew earlier with the bee fly. I'm just going to go up like this. And let's get a rough approximation here of my halfway. I'm going to use a little bit of an angled wing, I think, on mine, or angled body location there. And then that would just curve right down here, like that. And I think I'll go ahead now and grab my pen. I like that basic placement, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to simply draw in or ink in my body and head shape there. And I think I am going to create a little bit different type of wing here. A little more rounded, if you will. Just gives you some flexibility with how you create your little creature or insect here. And now what I'm going to do is add some ink in between these pieces as well, just to create some more contrast. So I'm going to put a little like roundings in these wings here on the ends. And now I'm going to add some little spiral shapes to kind of match or go along with, or at least to coincide with, the bee fly shape I did. I want these to look like they're different butterflies of the same genus or species or whatever insects are rated as. But I'm going to draw a little spinning printemps shape right inside of here, and I'm just going to end it like that. And I'm going to try to spin here. This went that way, so this one will go this way. Just filling those in. And I'm going to do that also to these next wings here as well. And now with these, I'm going to actually draw little shapes, so to speak. They're going to come in from the edge. Just making this shape up. I have no real reference for anything like this. This is just me adding a little variance to the wings of this shape. Sometimes you just got to change things on the fly. If you don't like how it looks, you fix it. And now I'm going to draw another little Butria right over here. It's going to be a little more of the traditional kind. So I'm going to presume it goes down behind like this. I'm going to draw that straight across. So this is getting a little bit smaller. But I'm just dividing this area now in half like we did in the sample or in the step out, following it more strictly, so to speak. And then I'm just going to add little bits of ink at the end, kind of in the opposite direction that I did my original ones. So it'll create slightly different appearance to this wings, or to these wings. And I'll go ahead and I'll ink in the body as well, tucked away in behind there. Just something simple like that. And now I'm going to actually add one more of these smaller type down here. Just again to kind of keep this family of little insect butterflies together as though they're living in harmony. Just fill a little more space that way as well. And I think that that is pretty much how I want to keep those. So, I forgot one thing up here on the body of this one. I wanted to do some little sections. We can move on to the shading. And of course, depending how you have decorated or embellished your wings is going to determine largely what you might like to do for the shading. So on this one in the background, I'm just going to add a little shading around the body and around this outer edge, just so I can add a little bit of tone, as I often talk about, to that. Just a hint that will keep it from looking just pure white there. And that's all I want to do to that. It's small enough where I'm not worried about trying to put details into it. Now these, I'm going to try something here. I don't know how well it will work. I'm going to add a little shadow or graphite to these little curved areas that I can blend outward toward the center, I should say, inward. And we'll just see how that looks. And then on this, I want to add some shadow around this that I can disperse outward away from that black, just to see what that might look like. A lot of times it's just a a trial and error. There's no rule book about how to shade these different shapes, especially when there are so many ways to embellish them. I wanted something simple, but something that would stand out a little bit with the darkness, and now hopefully these different tonal qualities here. So let's see how this works. It might also help to give it a little bit of like a membrane sense to it, so it doesn't look like a thick, opaque wing. Maybe there's just a hint of opacity there. We'll see if I achieve that or not, but that's kind of what I was thinking. Might be one of those times when I need to turn off my other light here so you can see it better on camera, because it is sort of washing it out with that bright light. It's great for when I'm trying to draw, but not so great when you're trying to see it. So let me add just a hint of tone to this one down here as well. So let me turn that light off. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that helps. You can see the tone of the graphite a little better. So with Butria, we found that it was actually pretty simple tangle. Doesn't take long to draw at all, and even embellishing it goes pretty quickly. So this is where we're at after day 21, adding that tangle, and we're closing in. Not lots of space left, but it gets, I think, more and more fun as we try to squeeze them in and make it all fit into this elaborate, unplanned composition. But let's take a look at Gayle's drawing for today. All right, thank you, Gayle.
Welcome.
Nice. Looks like you chose a very similar location that I did.
Yeah, it seemed to fit.
Yep, very nice. You managed to get 3 in there also.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Kept mine more traditional.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think, and I like how you did the little, I like these little hatch marks in there too. That's really cool.
Thanks.
I should have done that myself, but you beat me to it.
So good.
That's great. Really good. Let's look at a side-by-side comparison. We'll zoom in again here for folks. So here's Gayle's. There's David's. Gayle and David. So we might be able to do them side by side at a larger shot, but I just knew you couldn't see the details in. So here you can kind of see them, the over and above comparison, we'll call it. Nicely done, though, Gayle.
Thanks.
Great work. Give that back to you. And so with that, we're going to end the session for today. But before we sign off, I want to say on behalf of both of us that we are so grateful for all of your encouraging comments, your feedback, your likes, the views. You guys have been really encouraging us with your comments and so on, and we're so grateful for that. So thank you very much. Hope you're continuing to have fun. We've got some more little Toon surprises coming up and some other details as we finish up the next few days of this project. So stick with us, keep coming back, and we look forward to seeing all of you again in the Tangles and Toons channel. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.